Alright, Tormented Souls 2. It's crazy how excited I was for this game after playing the first. This is such a special series to me now. The first game set such high expectations, and with a bigger budget we have nowhere to go but up. Right? Beginning of the game we see a clear visual improvement here, and then we become reunited with my GOAT, Caroline Walker. Contrary to what my previous harsh words about her might have led you to believe, I actually do really like Caroline as a character. I find her quite endearing and genuine, so I was really excited to see her again here. She looks so great in this game, the character model is quite the improvement from the first. I love the leather jacket and the eye patch, she looks so cool now. Though I will say Caroline bears almost too much of a resemblance to Ashley from Until Dawn. She also sounds way better too, the voice acting in general is so much better, and from the start the story already feels more compelling because of this. Anna is of course here as well, it's great to see the two together like this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually happy to report that Caroline is just as dense as ever, as she's taking Anna on a vacation to the most overtly suspicious nuns to ever exist. What the hell was she thinking coming here? How did this ever seem like a good idea after what happened in the first game?
Nothing that a stay at a fancy wellness retreat won't fix. Am I right?
Again, strangely this made me happy to see the character consistency on display. Like, hell yeah, that's my girl Caroline. She's a dumbass, but she's my dumbass. It's sadly hilarious how quickly things go wrong. Once again, Caroline wakes up without clothes in quite the predicament here with this acupuncture she's got going on here. Now we're in gameplay and things are obviously very similar to the first. Tank controls, puzzles, spooky mansion vibes, limited resources, it's all so cozy. One of my absolute favorite additions is being able to quickly swap weapons and the lighter. This makes it so that combat encounters aren't interrupted by pausing to go to the inventory. You can't even reload from the inventory screen if you want to, which increases intensity in encounters. Although you can move while reloading and shooting, which took me an embarrassingly long time to realize. Could you do that in the first game? Please don't tell me you could. There are some weapon upgrades you can find for the nail gun and the shotgun, which are nice. The melee weapons also seem stronger and more viable than they are in the first game. They can also be used to smash vases and boxes, revealing items. The atmosphere has way more high quality lighting and immersive details like dust particles and moonlight rays that add a lot to the feel. It's quite insane how cinematic things look as you're walking around through these beautifully haunting environments. We meet some freaky old guy in a wheelchair, and for once Caroline is appropriately apprehensive. His goals align with ours for now, so we have an uneasy alliance going on here. We take a trip to the dungeons below, which has some great spooky atmosphere, very reminiscent of the first game's last third. This book is apparently the fucking Necronomicon Ex Mortis. We take it back to the dude who tells us to do this ritual to unlock the way to Anna. We solve a bunch of puzzles, I particularly like this chess one. The whole segment, however, feels like it's missing the intensity of the first game, where you would walk into a room and not know if an enemy was around. Here, enemies are so sparsely thrown in. We eventually find a mirror and use it to travel to the other world, which has this eerie green lighting to it, making for a cool aesthetic. We get some blood or something and we unlock the path to Anna. This brings us to this giant nun thing, and we have a boss fight. I like that there are boss fights, but this one was kinda tough. For one, I still didn't know that you can shoot and reload while moving, so that sucked. I also encountered a bug that prevented me from doing anything right as I was about to beat it, so that was annoying. But other than that, it's simple enough. We see the nun who greeted us at the train station die, and we once again have to track down where Anna is. This leads us outside the convent, and this is where the game really elevates itself from the first game, because we get this whole town area with all these locations to explore. This is some Silent Hill shit right here. Love the atmosphere so much, the fog, the street light, the distant ringing phone, it's all so great. The next chunk is here in the mall. I love that this game has a mall. Malls are a top 5 building of all time. All the details and Easter eggs around here are really great. Well, this is a really fun segment and again really showcases the flaw of how this game disperses enemies. For like 90% of this part, there's no enemies at all. And then at the very end, you get thrown these guys that are fairly easy to avoid. So overall, while the atmosphere and puzzles are very fun here, the tension is at an all-time low. I just have a stock of hundreds of nails and a huge stash of healing items. However, this changes going forward. From here we have what we need to get to the processing plant where supposedly Anna is. We meet a new character, Miguel, who we've read some journal entries from. Bro writes like he's fucking Alan Wake. This is a great little scene here with the music. It's definitely very Silent Hill feeling.
Sorry. You're the first person I've met today that didn't instantly want to kill me.
That's so weird, because you seem so friendly.
My name's Miguel.
I like how much attitude Caroline has here. It feels like a real evolution of her character. Entering the processing plant, we get quite a big map to explore here, which is always exciting. This segment is already much better paced, as we already get an enemy which is straight up a necromorph from Dead Space. I like how you are able to avoid enemies in this game, whereas in the first, it was always the right move to just dispatch the enemies when you first encounter them. Again, this would matter more if you didn't have copious amounts of resources to spare here. We get our first time travel puzzle after we explore the scary ass basement and find a dead body. And then a VHS tape that we use to Persona 4 through the projector to go to the past to prevent the woman from dying. Going back to the present in a pretty unexpected twist, the woman was none other than Anna. Caroline had actually been placed into cryostasis, so when we woke up, so many years has passed, dooming Anna to live trapped here all these years, growing a resentment for Caroline. Obviously, Caroline didn't mean for this to happen, but to be fair to Anna, Caroline never told her the truth of how she rescued her at the Wildberger Hospital. This whole thing is actually a pretty great and compelling step for the story to take. After escaping the cell in the most egregious way possible, we run into some freaky ass enemy crabs, and a giant diving suit guy. I like the aquatic theme going on here at this fishing village. I really like some of the puzzles here, especially with how many uses the batteries have and how you have to take them in and out of different equipment. The Otherworld segment here is freaky with this giant enemy crab, probably the most scared this game had me, due to the crabs being way too similar to spiders. This all leads us to the creepy ass butcher area, straight out of The Evil Within, where we fight this guy, the Iron Maiden. I really like how this game has boss fights and how there's a little more to it than just shooting. This gives us full access to a chainsaw, which we can use to access some areas, and it can also be used as a weapon that just stun locks enemies to death. It's great. This allows us to access my least favorite part of the game, the graveyard, where we have to deal with these fucking ghosts, who I didn't even know you could kill for the longest time, because you couldn't kill the ghosts in the first game. This drained all my health items. It didn't help that this place is a maze, and you literally have to go on a scavenger hunt for key items, even using a metal detector at one point. While I despise these ghosts, I have to say I appreciate how much variety there are with the enemies in this game. After that whole debacle, we run into Mother Lucia, who reveals she's straight up Sadler from RE4, who has a puppet virus that controls people, of which Anna is under the influence of. We have another boss fight where we fight this cool looking coffin dude, and this gives us the sledgehammer, the coolest weapon in the game. Caroline looks so badass with this thing. This allows us to go into the caverns, which looks straight out of The Descent. Now we get an interesting scene where Caroline slowly peeks around a corner, and I'm proud that I'm a true Tormented Souls fan now, because I immediately knew that she was gonna get knocked the fuck out, because this happens exactly like this in the first game at the very start. Caroline gets put into some tube to get drowned or something. This makes no sense, since it's revealed later that Lucia needs her alive, so who even put her there? I don't know, but Caroline is saved by Miguel, and we get a scene with equally cringe and endearing dialogue. Caroline continues to recap the whole first game, which would have been nice at the start of the game. It's funny, usually in a movie, when a character explains the story to another character, they usually cut away, and that annoys me because I want to see the character's reaction, but here when they let it play out, it's boring and it goes on for way too long. On our way to the school, we pass by the train station and we see Joseph get sucked into a hole. And that's all we see of him. Yep, that's where his story ends. Alright, now we get to the school, which is probably my favorite section of the game. Straight out of Silent Hill. I mean, look at this map. There's 3 floors to explore, and the puzzles here are great, like the xylophone, using the fuses for different functions, the apple seeds. It's pretty spooky here, and we even get some freaky child enemies like in Silent Hill. We get a great build up to the final boss, Pighead, who has a genuinely disturbing story and presence. There are some really fun references scattered around here as well. We meet Isabella, who's the one who led us to this place to begin with. Her story is actually pretty sad. We search the other world for these figures so that we can get the combination key, which leads us to Pighead. Miguel once again somehow comes in out of nowhere to save us, and we take down Pighead once and for all. Miguel's whole story is also kind of in the background, so he's not very compelling. He might be Isabella's son or something, I don't know. Anyways, Pighead had sliced him up pretty good, but we can go into the other world to patch him up, just like we did in the first game for Noah. This is apparently the deciding factor for getting the good ending. We get another RE4-ass scene once we get to the church, and shortly thereafter we unlock the way to the bunker. This is not as extended of a segment as the first game's bunker. In fact, it's even way shorter than the RE1 lab segment. We have to take the puppet virus in order to enter the lab for some reason, but then we also have to remove it so we can't be controlled by Lucia. To do this, we time travel and cure ourselves while we were in cryostasis, which creates a kind of paradox, because if we change things so where we couldn't be infected by the virus, then how could we have entered the lab to cure ourselves in the first place? There's some really cool imagery in the segment, such as this giant squid, and we also get some really interesting lore about how all this started. Making our way to the final arena, the game gives us every chance to turn back if you still have the puppet virus, which I did on my first time here. You actually just straight up die if you go in and confront Lucia. Having the virus removed though, Lucia forces Caroline to join the ritual, or else she'll kill Anna, which is dumb because she literally needs Anna to do the ritual, so she can't kill her, but Caroline is a bit slow, you know? Anyways, this straight up summons Nautilus, so we gotta take this punk down again. Its design is really cool this time, and the fight is miles better than the one at the end of the first game. We send Nautilus back from whence it came. Caroline eats and leaves no crumbs.
Go back to the Abyss, Hellspawn. And give my regards to Lucia.
And then we get an RE2 ass ending as they all walk into the sunrise together. So I'm gonna be honest, I think I might actually prefer the first game to this. There are a lot of improvements here quality-wise, gameplay-wise, and story-wise, so maybe this one is better? I don't know. I love the vibe of that first game. It's much more focused than this one. This one feels all over the place. The first game is much better paced, I think, and it's genuinely really scary and unsettling. But this game is still just as great in my eyes. There's a lot of locations and enemy variety, which is all great, at the expense of the game feeling very long-winded. The presentation is much higher quality, and Caroline feels so much more fleshed out as a character this time around. The story does feel too much like RE4, and we don't get enough of interesting characters like Anna, Isabella, or Joseph. Miguel also leaves a lot to be desired. The lore of the town and everything in the notes is really great though. The puzzles, range of weapons, bosses makes things really fun. Overall, this game is absolutely amazing, and it felt really great to play. I need some more. Give me Tormented Souls 3, give me more of these classic survival horror games. They will never get old to play. I'm straight up a huge fan of this series now, and it will come up in conversation in the same breath as Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and The Evil Within from now on.